Hello and welcome. This is episode 111 of React to WatchMojo, and today I have for you the top 10 greatest debut rock albums of all time. Well, it's not in the title, but it is in the description of all time, so let's just roll with it. Of course, WatchMojo is talking about the top 10 most important, the most influential, the most popular, of course. That's always a thing with WatchMojo. And just the greatest debut records of all time. Which is what the title suggests, so there we are. But yeah, the thumbnail is 10th from Pearl Jam, self-titled from Led Zeppelin, My Aim Is True from Elvis Costello, Funeral from Arcade Fire, Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses, and Definitely Maybe from Oasis. And I believe this is the first time that WatchMojo has a thumbnail where they have 6 albums in their thumbnail. So that is really they already showed half of their list. So yeah, there we are. That's probably gonna be on there. I like most of the albums that I just mentioned. Haven't heard some, but we're just gonna watch the video. Yeah, the thing is with debut albums, sometimes they can be really great. Other times they can be a bit still and would be a bit overshadowed by later material, which is, in my opinion, a better debut album than blowing your load off on the debut, because then you're gonna be compared for the rest of your life to the thing that made you a thing, and you're gonna be really depressed if your debut is your best album, because that would be really depressing, I would say, because you're never gonna make something like it again, like the original. But that is sometimes a really big issue for some of these artists. They had such a iconic, such a defining, the word I'm looking for. What is the word? A signature sound, and they had that with the debut album, but they lost their spark, that signature sound from that debut record. So that is sometimes a bit of a tragedy that it happens with bands like Pearl Jam, who's on the thumbnail, like Guns N' Roses with Appetite. Those are bands that blew their load off on the debut. Arcade Fire, Oasis? Nah, not really. They had a better follow-up album, but that's of course debatable. But we're just gonna watch the video. Some predictions, yeah, the thumbnail, of course. The self-titled Blue album from Weezer, that is actually an album that I've heard yesterday. So fucking good. And then I heard Pinkerton, still great album, but yeah, it doesn't hold a candle up to Blue album. Blue album is so fucking good. They're never gonna make something like it again. I'm gonna listen through the rest of the Weezer discography. So if you want me to do Weezer, then let me know in the comments, because I'm doing the discography. I'm currently listening to the Weezer discography, so let me know if you want some albums done, or maybe I'm gonna do it eventually if there's nothing requested at the moment. Some more predictions. The self-titled Doors album, I think that's gonna be on there. Are You Experienced by Jimi Hendrix, you gotta have that on there. Probably the most important one, because it just shaped guitar albums, it really did. What else is gonna be on there? I don't think the debut album from the Beatles, that album was a bit too commercial, if you can really say it. Yeah, it is really commercial, but it was the Beatles in the early 60s, so give them a break. Yeah, those are some predictions. I'm really thinking of other albums, but I can't come up with some. Yeah, I can't come up with them, so we're just gonna watch the video and enjoy it, because the video is already 5 minutes and I haven't even started it yet. And this original is only 7.5 minutes long. So if I'm gonna shut up, then this video will be really short, but I can't, because I I can get into the argument that I'm actually reacting to these kind of videos, but yeah, I'm kind of repeating myself right here. When reaction channels don't react to things and they sit there really still and don't say anything. I can talk about that, but that would be really pointless. Let's just start the fucking video. Damn. Some reaction channels just start the video immediately and I have to go on a rant, which is not even related to this video. I'm really talking out of my ass right now. Enjoy the video.
These musical firsts forever changed the sound of rock and roll.
GNR was the first one and then Zeppelin.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our
Guns N' Roses is so heavily inspired by Led Zeppelin.
for the
It is
top
not
10
even funny.
rock debut albums in history. For this list, we've chosen
The Strokes?
entries per decade based on a
Yeah,
combination.
personally I like the Strokes. I think their debut album is still really great, but besides that, yeah, Strokes is another one of these bands that took big influences, took them into the 21st century, blew their load off on the debut and never made something like it again, so yeah, that is a bit unfortunate, but still really relaxing band. Probably one of the most relaxed looking bands if you look at their music videos and listen to the music. They're one of the most chillest bands out there, the Strokes. If you understand me, they look really chill. They are really cool to listen to, really relaxing, stuff like that. They just look chill as fuck.
Of the album's critical and commercial
And
success.
that bass line is pretty good.
Its impact for the band,
Definitely, maybe, of course.
and its influence on future artists. We've also omitted the more overtly punk and heavy metal releases. Number 10, Boston.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Boston. I think that the debut album is alright, but besides that, the Boston discography is not. It's not really enjoyable to listen to, but the debut album is still a classic. And More Than a Feeling, of course, is a classic as well. The entire record, but More Than a Feeling, the most well-known song by Boston. And not the location, the band.
Classic rock.
Yeah, really a.
What it is today, without Boston's eponymous
If you don't know a name to your band, just name yourself after your state, after your location, stuff like that.
Even though they were barely known to the public,
Don't know jack shit, just name it after that.
over rock radio airwaves with the massive single More Than a Feeling, which helped the album reach number 3 on Billboard. The multi-platinum certified Boston became the fastest selling debut for an American act and the second
I believe it is a debut record now, but I'm not, debut record really. I'm really not talking straight right now, but I believe it is a diamond album right now. Both starts with a D, so really confusing, right?
best-selling debut album in the
Get your
USA.
shit together, the honest notes.
Number 9, Arcade Fire, Funeral.
Yeah. Unfortunately, also a band that was really interesting with their debut album, and even that new album, Everything Now, I believe it is called. Really bland record, man. A lot of pop elements are thrown in there, still with their debut album also, but they were so well mixed in with the piano and the vocals, stuff like that. It was just so well made. And then you listen to that new record, which is talking about suicide and the girl referring to the debut record, Funeral, and that she is putting on the record Funeral from Arcade Fire, and the lyrics are talking about that she's committing suicide and listening to our first record, Funeral. Yeah, those are really fucked up lyrics, Arcade Fire. Yeah, just stop making music. There are even some jokes now that how was the joke again? That Arcade Fire has his own funeral now because they are pretty mediocre now, but yeah, this album still is a classic, and yeah, easily the best Arcade Fire record. You can discuss that with me all day, but Funeral is just the best. Funeral. Rebellion, great song.
Arcade Fire's
Just a lot of
Funeral
melody.
was a hauntingly beautiful and dramatic indie rock
It is a beautiful record.
effort that had critics extolling the band's use of strings in their pop
Unfortunately, their best one, but
and folk-influenced tunes, dealing with love, hope, and mortality. The disc earned a Grammy nomination for Best Alternative Music Album. It also nabbed the #1 spot on multiple year-end and decade-end lists. Number 8, The Strokes, Is This It?
it is a great record, don't get me wrong, but above Funeral, I wouldn't say so, but yeah, also a band that's, yeah, these are some of those 2000 bands that were really interesting when they started, and then they just copied the formula that they already had and tried to make a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, etc. And they filled with every attempt a little bit more, a bit similar to AC/DC, who had the success, of course, to Back in Black, and then tried to redo that. But the difference between those two bands is that AC/DC, the Back in Black record, wasn't their debut album, so there we are. There's still some really good records before that, and then they had a bit of a similar crumb. Yeah, of course AC/DC is similar in its entirety, but you know where I'm coming from. I'm not the biggest fan of 2000 bands, but the Strokes are still a pretty good band though to listen to.
With Is This
Really
It,
relaxing.
The Strokes managed to create a stunning guitar-driven opus, which they complemented with pop influences. Clocking in at a little over 30 minutes, the band's debut reached the 2nd position of the UK charts thanks to their gritty and melodic sound, and helped shape modern rock in the new millennium.
I hope that the Blue Album is on there, because I've just listened to it and it is amazing, man. Love it. This album, yeah, it is a bit short. It is a bit similar to the Blue Album in length. Really short, really in your face. But I'm really excited to listen to more of the Strokes, because they are a good band. Not my favorite though, but they have their place.
Number 7, Oasis, Definitely Maybe.
Yeah, the thing is with Oasis, I had one fan of me, Nick Seivert, who is a really big Oasis fan, and this video is, by the way, requested by MusicFan993. I didn't say that, but there we are. But he is a really big fan of Oasis, I believe, and he was really happy that I did top 10 Oasis songs. And I said numerous times in my videos that, yeah, of course, early Oasis, best Oasis, first 2 records, of course, and the Master Plan compilation is pretty good. But yeah, they never really made something like Definitely Maybe again. Still with Morning Glory, I personally thought that the production was a bit shitty. It still is the better record of the two, but Definitely Maybe has better production, everything sounds tighter. But Morning Glory has the better songs, so yeah, that is really difficult to say, but I would say that Definitely Maybe is slightly more enjoyable to listen to. The production, how everything sounds on that record, it is amazing, and Oasis never made something like it again. Even the Morning Glory record, great record, but yeah, the production was different on there, and it wasn't as tight as it was on the debut. So unfortunately, also a band that had, yeah, I'm gonna say their best album, their debut record, they blew it off. Yeah, that is a bit unfortunate, but we have a lot of bands on there that are like that, and yeah, that is unfortunate, but that's how it is. But still a great record.
On the strength of 3 top 40 singles, Definitely Maybe topped UK charts during its first week of release and became the United Kingdom's fastest-selling debut ever. Critics praised the album's catchy hooks, hopeful themes,
I knew that Oasis were popular, but not that popular.
and the Gallagher brothers' lyrical and vocal abilities. As the band's fame and popularity spread
Noel
around,
Gallagher has a shitload of money though. He said that in the documentary. They have a documentary, Supersonic. I've seen it. It was alright. It was not really amazing or something. They were talking about the first 2 records and the Master Plan compilation album a bit, talking about the prime of Oasis, stuff like that. They didn't even talk about the 2000 stuff because who gives a fuck, right? But yeah, just a bit of a shame that Oasis wasn't as good in the 2000s as they were in the 90s. A bit of a shame, but still a pretty good band. Really solid and really enjoyable to listen to.
The world definitely maybe ensured their music would live forever as part
Yeah.
of the Britpop music scene. Number 6.
Definitely the best, the best Britpop band I've heard. Even better than Blur, I would say. Maybe they're the better band, but they're more alternative, I would say. But that is of course debatable. But this record though, oh, I love the self-titled Stone Roses album, man, love it.
The Stone Roses, the Stone Roses.
I Wanna Be Adored. Amazing song, love it.
Before
Amazing record. It is a bit unfortunate that they didn't want the fame, that they didn't want to get popular, although they made records. Bit of a bit weird, but the self-titled debut records, it is amazing. Second Coming is good, but it isn't as good as the debut, man. The debut is so flawless, man. So magical.
Britpop, there was Manchester. The Stone Roses' debut soon became a landmark in this genre, despite a lack of early critical and commercial recognition. By mixing dance, alternative, and psychedelic rock, the album subsequently influenced rock music of the 1990s and is often named one of the greatest British records in history.
Sure. I mean that record, man. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It is so magical.
Number 5. Elvis Costello.
It needs to be higher on the list.
Oh, My Aim is True.
I like Elvis Costello. I'm just not the biggest fan of him. I think he's just a bit dated. That is not the right word. He is a classic, of course. His albums are classics. But he is not for me. He is a bit boring, I would say. But still talented musician though, don't get me wrong, but not for me.
Dirty and intimate sound of pub rock as found on Elvis Costello's My Aim is True. Punk rock as we know it may never have existed. Backed by a band called Clover, Costello showed off his skills as a musician and as a songwriter on the record. His songs incorporated elements of folk, blues, and reggae, and were accompanied by some of pop music's most clever and biting lyrics.
I'm listening.
Number 4.
He just referred to the album name, My Aim is True. Great lyrics, Elvis Costello. Of course, number 4 is 10 by Pearl Jam. I've reviewed this record on the channel. It is really solid. It is a great record, but unfortunately, Pearl Jam is one of those prime bands that blew their load off on the debut and never made something like it again. That is really unfortunate because I like Pearl Jam. I actually think that Pearl Jam isn't the worst band of the big four grunge bands. That is, in my opinion, Nirvana. Lack of albums, of course, but Pearl Jam is still a really enjoyable band, although they're more alternative rock in my opinion. But 10 is still, although it is unfortunately their best record, it still is a classic, and yeah. You have songs like Alive on there, Even Flow, Jeremy, Once, Why Go, stuff like that. Porch, Deep, really, yeah, that is basically the entire record. And you have of course the masterpiece Black Man. I was saving that one for last. The best for last, man. Amazing record.
Pearl Jam, 10.
I'm still alive. Eddie Vedder is still alive.
Besides
Grunge is killing itself.
Nirvana's Nevermind, there was no other.
Kurt Cobain committed suicide. Chris Cornell committed suicide. Lane and Scott Weiland, they overdosed, I believe.
Album that popularized grunge and
Grunge is dying.
rock among the masses.
I'm not even joking here.
Much as Pearl Jam's 10. Its blend of classic, hard, and post-punk rock featured memorable hooks and choruses that were set among socio-politically driven lyrics sung by Eddie Vedder's signature vocals.
You can't mistake him for anyone else though, I have to agree. I mean, that's final line in Jeremy, man, it is so fucking good.
10 eventually
when he just
Billboard
screams, whoa, that is really a whoa moment.
spot, and went on to mold the sound of rock for decades to come. Number 3, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction.
Yeah, I like Guns N' Roses. I'm not the biggest fan of them because Axl Rose is a bit of a dick, you can say. Yeah, this is probably not probably, this is the defining band that blew their load off on the debut. Pearl Jam comes close, is a close second, but Guns N' Roses is the definitive band that blew their load off on the debut record. I really love Appetite for Destruction, a really raw, a really original record by this band, really defining when it came out in '87, really a breath of fresh air for the music industry. But yeah, after that you got the GNR Live EP, which was, just after one of your biggest hard rock records, then you release an EP like that, or an album. It is now an album, I believe, with live tracks on it, but still. And then the Illusion albums, which were great records, but I mean, Appetite is just, unfortunately, the best record by the band. And then we got Spaghetti Incident and Chinese Democracy. So Guns N' Roses doesn't have the best discography, but they certainly have one of the best debut records of all time. And if you want me to review it, then I can do it. Although I'm not the biggest Guns N' Roses fan, Appetite for Destruction is a classic album. A classic hard rock record, which is also one of the biggest selling hard rock records or one of the biggest debut albums in American history. It is a diamond record, by the way. And 10 is also like that.
Guns N'
Diamond record.
Roses' first LP overcame poor initial sales to eventually top the Billboard Hot 100, thanks to the smash single Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, that song again. I mean, I like it, but it is just way too overplayed.
With 18 million copies sold, it is now the best.
Some people really hate it, like the guy that's inspired this channel. And yeah, you know the guy.
Selling debut.
He really hated Guns N' Roses.
With its hard rock and heavy.
But I actually like them. I personally love the debut record, but everything after that is just meh.
Metal tunes. Appetite for Destruction brought sex, drugs, and rock.
Even the Illusion albums are meh in comparison to the debut record. You have to agree with me on that.
Roll back to the mainstream and showed us why Guns N' Roses would become known as the most dangerous band in the world.
If you think that Guns N' Roses is the most dangerous band in the world, then you haven't listened to black metal. The church burning stuff like that, Varg Vikernes who fucking killed someone from Mayhem and put it on a fucking cover of one of their live albums, the Black Arts, I believe. If you think that Guns N' Roses is the most dangerous band in the world, go look at that album cover, go look at the church burnings from fucking black metal bands, and then you're gonna see, Guns N' Roses isn't as dangerous now. But then again, I believe they're talking about commercial bands, and black metal is far from commercial, so yeah. Dangerous bands, I suppose. No, Axl's kind of a dick. That is your dangerous, but there we are. They're not really dangerous. Axl Rose just a giant prick.
Number 2, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin.
Way better than Appetite and Guns N' Roses will ever be. Yeah, this is one thing that I really love about Led Zeppelin, that they wrote a masterpiece of a debut record, and they still had Zeppelin 2, which is probably my favorite Zeppelin album. And they got of course the third one, which is really underrated. The fourth one, which is really overrated, but I still really love. They get House of Holy, which is a sophomore effort. Zeppelin 2 was also a sophomore effort. physical graffiti. You got masterpiece after masterpiece by Led Zeppelin. Really love this record. Definitely one of the best. Not their best, I would say. It's second or third maybe, but classic debut record. Came out in '69, the golden years of music, I would say. Yeah, classic one of the best, and deserves to be on this list. And this is one of the few bands that didn't blow their load on the debut. They blowed on the debut, but they still had a shitload more. So yeah, go figure. But overall, great record.
Rock had never been merged with blues and folk quite like this. On the legendary
People
English
say that Led Zeppelin created, yeah, some say that they made heavy metal, but this is of course Black Sabbath. And why is their self-titled album not on the list? That is a bit strange, but there we are. But definitely this Zeppelin influenced some heavy metal bands. They influenced it a bit, but Black Sabbath is the band that fucking made it though. Cannot deny that.
Zeppelin delivered some of the heaviest tracks of the 60s and reached the top 10 of the UK and US charts in the face of early lackluster reviews. The self-titled masterpiece altered the sound of hard rock and heavy metal, and later had critics hailing it as one of the greatest albums in history.
Cannot deny that. It is not my favorite Zeppelin record, but if you personally think that it is one of the greatest records ever made, then good for you. Yeah, it is really high rated by many critics, and of course seen as just one of the best records ever. For me, it has its place. Not my favorite, but certainly way up there as one of the greats.
Number 1, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Are you experienced?
Definitely. One of the best guitar records, like I said, amazing. Just from up to bottom, it is a great listen overall. Really important for guitar albums, like I said, really important. So yeah, really enjoyable by the way also. But yeah, Jimi Hendrix, he may had a short-lived career, but what a career it was, man! Those 3 records.
Thanks to the R&B flavors and bluesy riffs of Are You Experienced, plus the feedback and distortion-heavy tunes, the Jimi Hendrix Experience reached number 2 in the UK and had the US's best-selling album in 1968. The psychedelic tour de force also introduced Jimi Hendrix's unparalleled talent as an electric guitarist, and is such an important musical work it was preserved in the American National Recording Registry.
I have no idea what that means, but it must be good, right?
Do you agree or disagree?
You can explain that to me, but yeah, don't care.
Which is your favorite rock debut album of all time?
Well, I do care, but yeah. If you don't know either, then it doesn't matter.
For more entertaining top 10s, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Would I put Are You Experienced at number 1? Now maybe, I'm not really sure. But some picks like Black Sabbath wasn't on there. That was a bit bull, I would say. Yeah, no, it doesn't deserve to be on the list because it is heavy metal. So good job by WatchMojo. A bit retarded by me, so there we are. It is a heavy metal record, so there we are. Yeah, the Doors record wasn't on there. That is a bit strange. But other records, I wouldn't really say so. But there are some that I'm thinking about right now, but I can't name them because I don't know. No. I have no clue, so I'm gonna end it here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to the channel. You also have some more videos like this one. I'm gonna look a bit at the comments because I still have a bit time. Yeah, by the way, the Blue album, it is the first comment. The Doors are Doors, Weezer Blue album. Bleach by Nirvana, not really. The Piper at the Gates of Dawn by Pink Floyd, yeah, that is actually a good one. Not the best one, but still holds a high place in my ratings, I would say. Where are the Doors? Boston, not really. In the Court of the Crimson King, that is really interesting. That is also, it was not requested, but it was well really shoved in my face from Baroque dude. He said to me, and you almost know it's, listen to this fucking album with all caps lock. Just listen to it. And he was really mad that I have never listened to it. It is a bit of a shame that I've never listened to it, but I'm gonna do it eventually and I'm gonna review it, so there we are. I've heard that it is one of the best records ever, and it is also the first progressive rock album, I believe, in the 60s, so that is really interesting, so yeah. By the way, Pretty Hate Machine by Nine Inch Nails wasn't on there, that is a good one as well. I really enjoyed the record, by the way. Also that album that I've reviewed, how is it called again? Yeah, by the way, the Velvet Underground and Nico wasn't on there. That is a really influential record. I reviewed it. Yeah, it's pretty good. The Smiths, not really. It was alright, but I wouldn't put it on the list. Please Please Me by the Beatles, no. Boy by U2, no. I mean, great bands, don't get me wrong, but not the best ever. What about the Doors? Yeah, Pink Floyd, the Doors, the Who? I personally would put them at number 11, I would say, not on the actual top 10. But there we are. Van Halen. That is actually a good one. That is also a band that blew their load from the debut. Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park. I'm not the biggest Linkin Park fan, but yeah, a lot of people also saying Blue Album. Blue Album is amazing though. I love that record. It's amazing. And yeah, that kid that's Karl Zawistowski. Everyone is fucking offending him. How no, seriously stop. That's a great album, so you guys can shut the fuck up. Not per se. Enjoy the record. I've reviewed it on the channel, so there we are. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, all the things I just said, and God bless, stay safe, take care, and have a nice day. And let me know your favorite debut rock album in history. I'm curious to know.